Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the latest, it came out last week, the latest Spider-Man 2 story trailer. There's a lot of stuff which we're going to cover. We're going to go through the story trailer completely, and then we're going to talk about some of the key lines, the key moments, references, and then as well we have as well theories, and as well with the PlayStation blog post as well, which I'll go through as that gives us some key details about the game. So let's get straight. Let's just start with the story trailer. So let me turn on captions so as I talk you guys can see what they're saying. Right, English. Alright, let's go.
Lots happened in the last 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world. Guys, this is my best friend Harry. Hey, good to meet you. New job, huh? Just never had time for touring? Figure it out. I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Hey, MJ, I have another name for you. Craven. He's here on some kind of hunt. Just a call away. Hey, you know what you took from me.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better Spider-Man. How to help you. What the hell's going on with Pete? He's not himself. Help him.
This was our dream.
Alright, now we've played the trailer, let's talk about some of the key stuff that they bring up. But firstly, the first scene we have is Peter and Harry talking, and Harry's basically saying to Pete that basically he's lucky to be sitting there right now, and that's because over the last few games he's had an illness, and it looks like in this scene that Harry's illness might have faded, or we don't know exactly. That it seems like yeah. But that could be later in the game. It could start with them having found a cure, temporarily healing him, but as the game progresses, his illness comes back again. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But let us continue. He said, "Smiggles, we sitting here right now.
I got a second chance.
I got a second chance. So that tells me that someone probably helped Harry, which again could be Venom, but there's obviously a big debate right now about who is Venom. So yeah, we'll get into that eventually. I'm gonna take advantage of that, but I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world. That line is very key, as Venom also says that at the end of the trailer, which with people indicating that could be the reason why Harry is Venom, because he says the exact same line that Harry said at the start of the trailer, as we know that we know that Venom is close to someone in that friend group, because we know it's not going to be Eddie in this game. So we know it's debate between Peter and Harry, but Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something to bring up. Yeah, as we go on, we actually get a shot from Peter and Miles jumping off of Brooklyn's Academy, and we know it's Brooklyn's Academy and not Midtown because there's the colours there are blue and yellow, just like the Brooklyn's uniform. So we know this is. So we must know that this happens. So this scene happens over at Miles's school in Brooklyn, and as well we know it's Brooklyn as well because the Statue of Liberty is more in the is like further away, so it wouldn't be Midtown. So yeah, so we've got a scene coming in from there, and then we have bro, this game is so good. And then we have Coney Island, which I actually want to mention this. You didn't spot this, and I know for a fact you did not spot this, but there's actually Spider-Man villains names on some of this stuff. Like on the Ferris wheel, it says Big Wheel, who's like a very like jokey Spider-Man villain. And you have on the roller coaster it says Speed Demon, who is a villain who's actually a Marvel villain, and then there's like another one that says Hydro, which could be a reference to Hydro Man. Yeah, yeah. It's probably they're probably not going to be in the game, but they're just like references, which is quite funny. There's quite funny references that I found that are in the trailer, and then we have a scene and we have Taylor introducing Harry, which this dynamic between Peter, Miles, and Harry is going to be so interesting in the games because well, if we look like how they're gonna how they're gonna interact, like how's like cause like the stuff because I feel like a big part of the story is gonna be between like the interactions between Peter, Miles, and Harry. As yeah, yeah, yeah. I could see some tension getting stirred in this game. I could see some tension getting stirred between them two. Yeah, yeah,
This is my best friend Harry.
yeah.
Hey, good to meet you. New job, huh?
And then we also find out that Peter has a new job, which apparently, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that Peter's new job is like he's a teacher or something. Yes, Tito, and then Peter's acting really weird because here's what we said. So Miles says so he's still gonna have time for tutoring, and then Peter says we'll figure it out. He didn't give him a yes or no answer, so that's already kind of given me a bit of tension between Peter and Miles a little bit in the game. Yeah, maybe that we can see like through the game, and we'll keep going. And then we see like Craven's men, and yeah, bro, yeah, bro, Craven's men are gonna be so annoying. I feel like they're gonna be ridiculously strong for no reason. They're gonna make him like freaking Jack. But here's the thing, like I want this scene here when Peter's fighting the bear guy. He makes a quip, right? And usually in the symbiote, you're usually not making quips. So this must be before Peter got the symbiote. Yeah. I think this scene must be before Peter gets the symbiote because usually symbiote Spider-Man isn't making quips or anything. So this has to be before the symbiote. And then we see. Yeah, and then we finally see Peter with the web wings, which, bro, they look Bro, the weatherings look so good in this game. Like, I'm glad they added these because they just made the map bigger, so it makes the map so much quicker to traverse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really like that. And as well, you can see quite close up that you can see Oscorp, which is interesting. And then Peter said we have another name for you, MJ, Craven. So obviously, it seems like this is probably quite a bit into the game when he told MJ about Craven. But then again, as well, MJ's kind of busy with a new job at the Daily Bugle with J. Jonah Jameson, which we know is in this game. We know she's working for JJ in this game. Yeah. And then we see more Craven's men. You see on some kind of hunt, which is obviously on Spider-Man. Now this scene with the symbiote on the ground, this confirms the symbiote is from space and is not science made. Yeah. That's this is probably going to be a flashback scene, like right at the start of the game. This is going to be a flashback scene that we see of the symbiote landing on Earth, which is cool because we didn't know for a while if it was going to be science made or at the actual alien symbiote. Well, it's alien, which is good to know in this game. And then we have this scene, bro, Lee, you don't know what you took from me. But now, here's what's interesting about the background. Peter's in the background helping people. So, yeah. Yeah, maybe, yeah, because in the background as well, because it's the thing, right? Yeah, I feel like this scene has to be before Peter gets the symbiote as well, because Peter's in the background in his normal suit. So this has to be before the symbiote. Yeah, maybe, but here's what we know. We know that Lee is still in his uniform from the raft. So it seems like someone has made a break in at the raft and has broken out criminals, because well, in the background there is fire everywhere, which we don't know who's caused that. Maybe Craven's men, we don't know for sure yet. And yeah, and well, we go to the next scene. We see Rafe. I did not know. I got to admit, I did not know who this was until you pointed this out, of this being Rafe. Yeah, what kind of role do you think Rafe's gonna play, do you think? Yeah, your honesty as well, and as well, we can see Peter, we can clearly see Peter again in his classic suit here. So that must mean maybe either all these are before Peter gets the symbiote, or like there's like side missions of which Peter doesn't have the symbiote, or the other thing, what if the symbiote is actually do you know like how like in like the actual like comics it like just like even like when you're in the suit, so the symbiote just covers your suit. It could be like that, and you can activate the symbiote at any time you want. I could see that being the case, and then that would explain why we see Peter in his classic suit so much, and not as much the symbiote, because you could, yeah. And then Rio says all Miles talks about is to be a better Spider-Man. So this might be So this might be some conflict that Miles has in the game where maybe like Peter's like maybe like Miles needs to learn to like start doing things without Peter because Peter's like busy and he just doesn't know like how to like get better as Spider-Man. Yeah, as well, yeah. That could be foreshadowing to like what happens in this game. And then we see like, and then of course we just see that Peter crashes through the roof, and then Miles says, "The hell's going on with Pete?" And then and then and then MJ is hiding from Peter, saying he's not himself. Okay, so I think at this point, yeah. Do you know what it might remind me of? I think it might be something similar to what they did in Spectacular. Like as the symbiote progresses more, it gets like it changes. Yeah, and we can kind of see this as well. And it's, as well, like when MJ's hiding, it looks like Peter's lost complete control or like nearly complete control. So it's like reached like at this point, like Peter's like gone absolutely crazy, and it's probably just killed someone. Yeah, exactly. I think he killed someone, and then MJ's just hiding. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can see that. And then we see Miles going into like I think people pointed this out. This place where Miles jumps into. People pointing this out as like something called I don't remember the name, but it's something Cravenoff in New York. I don't remember the name, but it's basically like where Craven lives in New York. Yeah. I don't remember the exact name. I can't remember the exact name of the place because like, I saw it on a breakdown video and I can't remember the exact name, but it was something Cravenoff. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Let me see. And then we have this is what's interesting. Peter's trying to fight the lizard, but when the lizard is screaming, the symbiote is reacting, which means the symbiote is weak to sound. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this thing basically confirms the symbiote is still weak to sound, but it doesn't seem like the symbiote is weak to fire. I don't think the symbiote is weak to fire though in this game. They mostly are, but I don't think in the game it is because we've seen several scenes of the symbiote just. Yeah, but yeah, this is interesting as well because we know. So this scene probably comes from like. Do you remember when Do you remember when like Peter and Miles split off split off to go and find the lizard? I think this is probably probably a little bit after that scene. Like Peter's actually found Lizard trying to fight him, but like Lizard is holding him back because of his sonic screaming. And then yeah, he was trying to choke him, but when he did the sonic screams, he just and then we see more shots of Craven's men, and then we have Harry saying this was our dream. What do you think that relates to? That could be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then and then of course he's in a Peter with the symbiote, and then we see again Harry is limping again. So yeah, Harry's limping, so his illness comes back. Yeah, he has a cane as well. So I reckon this is what I think happens. I think at the start of the game they find a cure, like a temporary cure, but eventually as the game progresses, his illness comes back. Yeah, because as well, because this makes sense. Because when you think about it, right, with the temporary cure thing, I think this makes more sense because when you think about it, because because at the start of the game, Harry looks at the start of the trailer, Harry looks fine, but now he looks like ill again. So I reckon that scene has to happen near the start of the game, and basically like as the game progresses, his illness comes back, and then basically like see, and then basically Peter has to go and find Kirk Connors to go and help Harry get like a permanent cure or something. And we know as well that the symbiote, and we know as well that in the past games, when Harry was in the symbiote tank, the symbiote was rejecting him. We know in the past games when he was in the tank, the symbiote was rejecting him because he was an ill host. Yeah, because because he was because Harry was so sick. Because he was so sick, Venom didn't want to bond with Harry because Venom likes like healthy hosts and that. And since Harry was sick, he was refusing to like bond with him. So maybe Norman had to go and find another solution. I saw that on I saw that on several like breakdowns on this, and when you think about it, it makes sense because when he's in the tank, like if the symbiote was bonding with him, right? Think about it. But that was after that had already happened. Yeah. It's interesting though. It is interesting to point out. Uh, yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, and also I found this interesting thing. So when Peter does like that massive like Venom like spike ball thing, Harry's actually in the background. Harry's actually in the background. Yeah, he's in the background watching this, and then yeah, and then he says, and then and then Norman says, "I'm not gonna lose you." And this is probably right before Harry goes in the tank because the symbiote's already in the tank. So this is probably another flashback scene. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is still something I'm wondering about. And then we see like Harry like throwing his cane at the glass in anger. Why do you think this might be the case? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I know. Yeah, as well. When you mention this as well, when I mentioned this to you, whether this is just after Harry's illness came back, and he's angry that he's ill again, that he can't get the cured because Peter has the symbiote. And then, of course, we have the final scene where Venom says, "We are going to heal the world." Now, people are debating that this is either Peter. People are actually debating if this is Peter or Harry, because Peter heard the line that Harry said. So like some people are saying, "Oh, Peter's gonna be Venom, Harry's gonna be Venom." I'm personally thinking it's gonna be Harry because it hasn't really been. Yeah, 'cause I think to me it makes more sense because if it's Peter, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then of course we have the final then we have like the final scene with like Venom attacking Craven's men. And believe it or not, and I tell you this now, people thought Craven was Venom. Yeah, he has been in the comics, but this is clearly Craven's stuff, and Craven wouldn't be like attacking his own people. So yeah. Now I'm trying to click like as well. There was something that people were saying as well. Well about Venom. Believe it or not, people think they can see an eye in Venom's mouth. Yeah. And then we have this, and then now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the PlayStation blog page, as we got information on the blog page about a lot of the stuff they mentioned. So this is about the story trailer. So we've got. So yeah, so here we go. So this is like what they said. So this is what they said at the start. At the beginning of our story, the Spider-Man are on the top of their game. Though But both Peter and Miles are struggling with their personal lives. Miles is trying to find time to write his college entry essay that keeps procrastinating and focusing on spider work instead. Meanwhile, Peter is underwater on payments for Aunt May's house, but can't sell it. It means too much to him, and just like Miles, Peter tries and fails to find a balance with many responsibilities. So what do you think about that first part? Yeah, so yeah, yeah, 'cause in this game Peter is apparently living in Aunt May's house. Yeah, in the game, yeah, Peter's gonna be living in Aunt May's house. Yeah, and then okay, yeah, and then we got more, and it says MJ wants to help Pete with the mortgage, but her job is on the line now. That J. Jonah Jameson is back at the Bugle and is looking to clean house. Our heroes have arrived at a conflict of crossroads with uncertain futures and some tough decisions ahead. Now, this is what we were mentioning. It says conflict, so so that means there's going to be some conflict between Peter and Miles in this game. And this is mentioning at the start, and then we have more, which it says, when Craven hunters arrived in the city, it sets off a mystery of why they are there and who and what they are hunting. Well, I'm guessing it's Lizard, because we know from the gameplay trailer from 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 a few months ago that they wanted to get their hands on Lizard. Yeah, so it could so it's probably Lizard and then the Spider-Man. But as Spider-Man and MJ dig deeper into Craven's motivations, the symbiote begins to threaten Marvel's New York and everyone and everything they hold dear. So this confirms that the symbiote will bond with Peter after Craven's already started his hunt. So this sort of then tells me as well that Peter ain't gonna bond with the symbiote like very early on. Yeah, and as well, and then yeah, and then it's, yeah, and then they said, as many of you have noticed, the Marvel Spider-Man 2's gameplay trailer from the PlayStation Showcase in May, Peter's new black suit affects his personality and gives him new powerful symbiote abilities. You can see bits of that in this trailer as well, and you can see Peter's symbiote powers tax his relationships with Miles, MJ, and Harry. So this so this means Peter's like personality when he has a symbiote is gonna affect Miles, MJ, and Harry. Yeah, and then we have like spoilers for this game, for Spider-Man for the first game, which and then now here's some interesting things. They've mentioned some new gadgets. They've mentioned some new stuff. Let me read through this one. We always thought of our starter heroes as acrobatic improvisers, and in Spider-Man 2, we want to equip them with ways to do so. So during combat, this includes Pete's spider arms and symbiote power, while Miles now brings two of his Biovenom into every fight, and when you start combining these abilities with all new spider gadgets like Web Grabber, it leads to some exciting combos. So it seems like the combat, like how they've done combos this time. It sounds like they've done them completely different this time compared to what they did in the first game. So yeah, like they've changed combos. They also they would have talked about web wings and that. Also, apparently there's going to be wind tunnels in New York, so that's just going to help with the web wings more. Yeah, wind tunnels. Yeah. Okay. Now this is what they mentioned about Venom. This is what they said. When we decided to craft a Venom story, we knew we'd be making a bit of a tone shift. The best symbiote stories serve as algors. We all have darkness inside of us, but what happens if we let it take over? With the introduction of the symbiote into our franchise, our heroes are forced to battle darkness in in all its forms. We wanted them to change both inside and out and feel the effects it has effects on those around them. And when Venom takes control, they face the real dangers that they could lose themselves and their loved ones forever. So they basically mentioned that Venom's gonna do whatever the hell he's gonna want in this game, and he's just gonna, and it could like, and it also confirms though that Venom might kill someone. No. I mean one of the main characters. I feel like Venom might kill one of the main characters. I'm not sure, and then we have more on Venom, and then but yeah, like that's basically everything. That's basically everything we need to talk about. Yeah, the game's exciting, and we'll see you in the next video.